This week on GamePron News, we have all the big announcements out of the Tokyo Game Show. We were expecting a bunch of news, and a bunch is exactly what we got, with both Nintendo and Sony showing off their new and upcoming handhelds, a bunch of big-name new announcements, and a couple of quirky things to look forward to. Meanwhile, EA finally admit to the world's worst-kept gaming secret. We get a glimpse of Max Payne 3, Australia apparently loses yet another games developer, and Blizzard takes an all-new approach to customer service. Hi, I'm Jessica Citizen. In Tokyo this week, it was refreshing to hear Nintendo announce that it would be focusing on increasing the number of girls playing their new 3DS. A chart showing gender balance across the company's three platforms revealed that while the Wii was split 50-50 and slightly more girls play DS games than boys, the 3DS is currently bucking the trend, being somewhat male-dominated. The Japanese company was none too pleased with this information and planned ways to counter the problem. Firstly, more girl-friendly games. There's a new Girls Mode title, that's known as Style Savvy in the US, a new Fire Emblem, Resident Evil Revelations for the horror fans, a shiny new RPG from Square Enix, a Bravely Default Flying Fairy, and, of course, another Animal Crossing. But that's not enough. The brains trust at Nintendo thought long and hard about how to attract more girl gamers to their hardware, and finally came up with the perfect thing. That is a misty pink 3DS set to launch in Japan on October 20th. Nintendo are apparently less concerned about the female demographic in other regions, as both Europe and the United States have claimed they will not be stocking the colour. Really though, while Nintendo and the 3DS got some airtime, everybody was focusing on the new PlayStation Vita, which will launch in Japan on December 17th for nearly 25,000 yen. Sony took this opportunity to show off just what the new baby can do, including some incredible advancements in AR, including multipoint and markerless options. There's also PS3 connectivity that sees your Vita become a wireless touchscreen controller for your console, rather similar to what we saw Nintendo doing with the Wii U. While it can be used as a secondary viewpoint for purpose-designed games, it can also be used in place of the traditional DualShock controller, just use the rear touchpad instead of the missing buttons. An unexpected highlight was the big reveal of the PlayStation Suite SDK, which will enable budding developers to create games and apps for both the Vita and any Xperia device, which includes tablets and the Xperia Play. The launch lineup features 26 games at this stage, with a further 100 in development around the world, and while they're all fabulous in their own way, one that had me particularly excited, Katamari Damacy for Vita.
今回の塊魂は伸びて信じて伸びて信じて伸びて変形の小さ卵転がし塊魂のビータ
All of that squeezing and stretching is possible thanks to the Vita's rear touchpad, and we're told it will make the world pick-upable in all new ways. No word on just when this one will roll onto our shelves, so stay tuned. Also announced this week, although not at TGS, was the Electronic Arts reboot of Syndicate. Act surprised, this one is one of the worst kept secrets of the past few years, with leaks and rumours fluttering about every few months. Now though, it's official, and while you'd think that the news would make gamers happy, there are plenty who are feeling a little hard done by. You see, while the original game was a tactical strategic affair, the reboot from Starbreeze will be a first-person shooter. Written by Richard Morgan, the pen behind Crysis 2, it looks like Syndicate will still shape up as an impressive game, even if it's not the retro throwback gamers were hoping for. It's due out in early 2012 for PC, PS3 and Xbox 360. Also due out early next year is Max Payne 3, revealed last week by Rockstar Games. Our favourite former New York City cop is back, and he's cranky, and we've got the debut trailer to show it all off.
I'd arrived in Sao Paulo a few weeks before.
I can get you work, Max. Work that only a guy like you can do.
I ain't a cop no more. I was working a protection detail for the kind of people who need protection in a town like this.
This is Sao Paulo, brother. It's kind of fun, good pay. We keep people safe.
It wasn't pretty, but I guess none of what was about to happen was gonna be.
The girl was kidnapped by the CS.
We have always been targets. We all know that.
Here I was again, with all hell breaking loose around another girl I had been trying to protect. This was a hell of a hangover.
We have been here before, of course. Max was originally scheduled to visit in winter 2009, but with that trailer compiled completely of in-game footage, the game has popped up again on the top of wish lists the world over. Australians were happy to learn this week that both Modern Warfare 3 and Battlefield 3 have been granted an MA15+ rating and cleared for release down under. Nobody really expected either game to have any problems with the censors, but it's interesting to note Activision submitted Modern Warfare 2 to the classification board under a false name, just in case it was too controversial. This time around, no cloak and dagger antics, just the game, straight up. Whether this means that Modern Warfare 3 is less violent than its predecessor remains to be seen. But it's not all good news for Aussies, as reports have started popping up that the Melbourne branch of Visceral Games will be closed down. Visceral Games is best known for its work on the Dead Space franchise, and while most staff are in Redwood Shores in California, there are satellite studios in Montreal as well as Melbourne. No word yet on whether Canada has suffered any job cuts. Electronic Arts has not made any official statement on the topic, but according to sources, the team had been working on a AAA title for the past 3 years before new management declared it would be unprofitable and pulled the plug. Whether or not the game was fabled horror title The Ripper, based on Jack, the infamous 19th century serial killer, remains to be seen. And then, in quick, unrelated news, BioWare has confirmed that same-sex romance will be added as a post-launch feature to Star Wars The Old Republic, making many gamers very happy. It's also upset a number of fans who are now claiming they will boycott the upcoming MMO. Double Fine realised that releasing Trenched under a different name in Europe would mean that gamers would not be able to enjoy multiplayer with friends across the pond. So the company applied a simple fix, and from this month onwards, Trenched will now be officially known as Iron Brigade, regardless of where you live. In the not-too-distant future, Diablo 3 and Battle.net will both include support for PayPal as well as real-world money. This will make it oh so easy to buy in-game items with your real money and to cash out your spoils directly into your PayPal account for easy transfer. Still with Blizzard, the World of Warcraft creator has taken an interesting approach to customer service, launching a dedicated YouTube channel to keeping gamers informed. At the click of a mouse, you can find out all about the various Battle.net authenticators, some tips on general security for WoW, and our personal favourite, what to do after being hacked.
So you suspect your account has been hacked, and you're probably quite upset. Most likely, all you can think of right now is how to get back into the game as quickly as possible. However, don't be in too much of a hurry. We can understand that you want to recover your account immediately, but it is very important to take some security measures first. Otherwise, there is a high risk that you could be hacked again straight away, which would be even more stressful and time-consuming for you. We recommend carrying out all these steps on your own computer and not a public one. This is because you will have to enter some personal information during the process. If anyone is able to spy on you at this time, this will undermine all your security efforts.
The videos themselves are charming and we hope will go a little way to soothe the hurt after your account has been compromised. Right now the videos are focusing on World of Warcraft, but there's nothing to say StarCraft 2 won't have its day in the spotlight, or that Diablo 3 fans will miss out once that game is launched. Till next week, I'm Jessica Citizen and this is GamePron News.